I remember standing on the edge of a quiet night, the glow of my office window casting long shadows over the city below, feeling the weight of a choice I couldn't escape. I had built something I believed in, a company born from my dreams, yet beneath the surface there was a storm of conflicting voices inside me. One side whispered that to truly succeed, I had to play the game of power. Strategic moves, subtle influence, control, like a master chess player who always stays 3 steps ahead. The other side longed for something different, to lead with kindness, to uplift my team, to serve a purpose beyond profits. I was torn, caught in a web of ambition and a desire to do right. I had learned early that in the world of power, the most effective move is often the one that appears invisible, the one that doesn't shout, but gently shifts the course of the game. I had read about the most successful leaders who mastered patience and restraint, knowing when to act and when to wait, understanding that true influence isn't about force, but about subtlety. Yet I also knew that if I only played the game of manipulation, I risked losing myself, becoming someone I didn't want to be, the kind of person who wins at the expense of others, who sacrifices integrity for short-term gains. I wondered if I could find a way to balance these forces, to lead with both strength and service, to harness power, not as a weapon, but as a tool for harmony. One night, as I sat alone in my office, I remembered a story from ancient Chinese wisdom about the flow of water, the way it effortlessly finds the path of least resistance, nourishing everything along its course without forcing its way. I realized that true leadership is like water, flexible, patient, and persistent. It adapts to the shape of its surroundings, never rushing, never forcing, yet always moving forward. That lesson of effortless action, of going with the natural flow, became a guiding principle for me. I understood that when I try to control every detail, I create resistance. But when I trust the natural rhythm of my team and the process, things unfold more smoothly. I thought about the Confucian idea of benevolence, leading not through fear or dominance, but through genuine care and righteousness. If I wanted my team to thrive, I had to be willing to serve them, to see their growth as my own purpose. I remembered a moment when a young employee new to the company hesitated to speak up during a meeting. I could have dismissed her or ignored her quiet voice, but instead, I gently encouraged her to share her thoughts. Her face lit up with relief, and I saw how a simple act of kindness could open a door to trust and loyalty. That act of benevolence, I realized, was more powerful than any manipulation or calculated move. It built a foundation of respect that no strategy could easily dismantle. But I also knew that influence requires patience. Sometimes you have to wait quietly, observing, understanding the underlying currents of your organization. This was the essence of the most subtle forms of power, the ones that don't demand attention, but instead invite trust. I saw that the greatest leaders are those who discover their own voice and help others find theirs, who serve not just their own ambitions, but the collective good. I started to see that my role wasn't to dominate, but to create space, to nurture growth, to listen deeply. I realized that ambition, if driven solely by personal gain, can blind us to the real purpose of leadership, serving others and creating harmony. I remembered the ancient maxim that the wise ruler or leader does not impose their will, but aligns themselves with the natural order, like a gardener tending to a delicate tree. Sometimes the best move is to step back, to let things develop naturally, trusting that with patience and care, the right course will emerge. I thought about my team, about how they looked to me for guidance, and I knew I had to choose whether to manipulate their actions with fear or to inspire them with purpose. The choice was clear. If I wanted lasting power, I had to serve with sincerity, to act with righteousness, and to trust that true influence flows from a place of genuine care. That night, I made a decision. I would no longer chase after fleeting control or superficial success. Instead, I would focus on creating harmony, on empowering my team to find their own strength and voice. I saw that real power isn't about bending others to your will, but about aligning your purpose with theirs, like the yin and yang working together in perfect balance. I realized that by serving others, I could build something stronger than any strategy, something rooted in trust, respect, and shared purpose. And in that moment of clarity, I understood the secret that ties all the lessons together. True influence and lasting success come not from domination, but from humility, patience, and the unwavering desire to serve a higher good. Yeah, nice toes. I love that. I saw that real power isn't about bending others to your will, but about when I let go of the need to control everything and instead embrace the flow of life and leadership, I found a strength I never knew I had, one that is gentle yet unshakable, powerful yet peaceful. That is the lesson I want to pass on to you, because in today's world where chaos and distraction threaten to drown out our purpose, the real victory lies in harmony, balancing ambition with service, strategy with sincerity, influence with compassion. When you learn to lead like water, effortless and adaptable, and serve like a wise Confucian ruler, benevolent and righteous, you will discover that power isn't something you take, but something you cultivate, within yourself and among those you lead. And in that cultivation, you will find not just success, but fulfillment, an unshakable sense that you are part of something greater than yourself, something that flows naturally and endures through all seasons.